Hi, my name's Dave and welcome to a short video about how to string the racket after mounting the Ektelon 2-point upgrade kit. This kit is shown mounted on an Ektelon D stringing machine. And stringing the racket is fairly normal with the exception of the strings pulling down through the throat area. There's plenty of area on the top end, to pull the main strings. But when you're trying to pull the strings on the in the throat area, you run out of room just because this is shorter than some of the more modern machines, and it's just not long enough to pull tension, especially when the string is real pulls a long way, real stretchy. Also, please note that when you're stringing this way, you're pulling an angle out of the grommet hole and you're pulling up over the frame, and so you're also losing tension as part of this process. So when the machine is set, in this case, to 60 pounds, we're really not getting 60 pounds on this string. We got 60 on this, but on this one we're not going to get 60 pounds anyway because of this interference here. So the solution to solve both of these problems is to pull two strings at one time. The solution is to pull two strings at one time. You eliminate the interference here. You get a more true tension on the string that normally would have been pulled through the throat area, and you have plenty of room on the top of the stringer to pull both strings, even when it's a stretchy nylon like this one. So we've got the clamp set up here to hold these two center strings, and we're going to go ahead and pull tension on both of those. Now what happens here is you don't really get a full tension on the one string. This one's at a full 60 pounds. This one's a little less. The solution is just give it a quick tug, tighten again, and you're going to get pretty close. And you can do it one more time, give it one more little tighten, and you're really going to have the same tension on both strings. Certainly you're not going to lose near as much tension on this string that would have been clamped, would have been pulled through and then clamped on the throat end. Also, time-wise, it's really not a penalty because it takes about the same amount of time. Even though you have a little bit extra activity here, you're not clamping twice on this string. So next up, of course, is to clamp the string. And now we're going to go ahead and pull the next two strings. Basically, just really the same process. Pull the two next strings. Same step. This one's not quite as tight as it should be. Give it a quick tug. You can go ahead and loosen the clamp and position it over here. Pull again. Maybe do it again. You're going to get pretty close right there. Go ahead and clamp off. And then you come back to the other side here. You want to pull the next two strings. Again, just repeat the process. Not quite the same. A little tug. Tighten again. Still a little bit of difference. Maybe do it one more time. That's pretty close. And you go ahead and clamp. So now you've successfully, if you have on this particular racket, which has 6 strings coming through the throat area, they have been successfully strung, and the rest of the racket is just like normal. You're no longer pulling through the throat area. You have plenty of clearance on either end to string the racket. Plus you have a much more consistent main string tension than you would have just pulling through the throat area and having these angles and the friction of coming over the throat area.